In the year 2289, humanity had achieved what once seemed like a distant dream: interstellar travel. The Odyssey, a state-of-the-art spacecraft designed to traverse the cosmos, was humanity's crowning achievement. Launched from a revitalized Earth, the mission aimed to explore Proxima Centauri b, an exoplanet located in the habitable zone of its star. The mission was not just about exploration. It symbolized hope, ambition, and the relentless pursuit of knowledge. The crew consisted of brilliant scientists, engineers, and astronauts, each selected for their unique skills and unwavering dedication to the mission. Captain Elara Vasquez, a seasoned astronaut with a reputation for her calm under pressure, led the crew. Her leadership style prioritized collaboration, embodying the spirit of teamwork that had become essential for success in space exploration. Alongside her was Dr. Aiden Shaw, an astrobiologist whose passion for discovering alien life was matched only by his curiosity about the unknown. The crew also included Mai Lin, the ship's engineer, whose innovative solutions had resolved countless technical challenges, and Ravi Patel, a systems analyst responsible for maintaining the ship's complex navigation systems. As the Odyssey approached Proxima Centauri b, excitement permeated the ship. The crew had spent years preparing for this moment, and their anticipation was palpable. They marveled at the breathtaking view of the planet unfolding before them, its surface a tapestry of blue oceans and green landmasses. But as they prepared for landing, an unsettling phenomenon disrupted their euphoria. An unknown object had been detected trailing their ship. This anomaly, initially dismissed as a minor glitch, began to exhibit strange behavior. Communications Officer Mia Torres noted the anomaly's unusual trajectory. "It's mimicking our movements," she reported, her brow furrowing with concern. "It's almost as if it's following us." The crew exchanged uneasy glances, the thrill of discovery overshadowed by a creeping sense of dread. What had they inadvertently brought back from the stars? As the days passed, the anomaly grew more pronounced. It pulsed with an eerie light and emitted a low-frequency hum that reverberated through the ship. The crew tried to maintain their focus on the mission, but the presence of the unknown object loomed like a specter, creating an unsettling tension. Elara convened a meeting to address the crew's growing apprehension. "We can't allow fear to cloud our judgment," she urged. "We need to approach this scientifically. Let's gather data and try to understand what we're dealing with." The determination in her voice inspired the crew, but deep within, they all sensed that they had ventured into uncharted territory, one that could redefine humanity's understanding of life beyond Earth. The Odyssey was not just a ship. It was a microcosm of humanity's hopes, fears, and aspirations. The crew members, each with their unique backgrounds and motivations, added depth to this ambitious mission. Captain Elara Vasquez, a third-generation astronaut, was driven by a desire to honor her family's legacy. Her grandfather had been among the first to explore Mars, and she felt a profound responsibility to carry that spirit into the stars. Her leadership style was characterized by empathy, ensuring that every crew member felt valued and heard. Dr. Aiden Shaw, the ship's astrobiologist, was consumed by a relentless quest for discovery. He had spent years studying extremophiles on Earth, organisms thriving in the most hostile environments, and his fascination with the possibility of alien life fueled his passion. Aiden's enthusiasm was contagious, yet it often clashed with the pragmatism of the engineers, leading to spirited debates that, while sometimes contentious, ultimately strengthened their teamwork. Mai Lin, the engineer, was the ship's backbone. She was a prodigy, having designed cutting-edge technology that pushed the boundaries of engineering. Her resourcefulness often saved the day, but she harbored a secret fear of failure. The pressure to maintain the ship's systems weighed heavily on her, and she struggled to balance her ambition with the anxiety of potential mistakes. Ravi Patel, the systems analyst, was the quiet thinker of the group. He often found solace in the data, interpreting complex algorithms and ensuring the ship's navigation systems ran smoothly. However, the presence of the unknown anomaly stirred a deep-seated fear within him, forcing him to confront his beliefs about the safety of their mission. As the crew navigated the challenges of deep space, each member grappled with their own demons, and the unraveling mystery of the anomaly pushed them to their limits, testing their resolve and unity as they ventured into the unknown. As the Odyssey continued its mission on the way back to Earth, the anomaly's presence became increasingly concerning. What had initially seemed like a mere curiosity transformed into a source of dread and anxiety. The object followed the ship closely, its pulsating light casting eerie shadows across the crew's quarters. The low-frequency hum intensified, vibrating through the very bones of the ship, creating an atmosphere thick with tension. Captain Vasquez, determined to maintain morale, called for regular briefings. "We need to keep open lines of communication," she insisted. "Let's discuss our findings and update everyone on the anomaly." Yet, despite her efforts, the crew's unease grew. Dr. Idenshaw, who had initially been captivated by the possibility of discovering alien life, now found himself questioning the implications of their discovery. What if this entity is not benign? He pondered aloud during one meeting. We could have brought back something hostile. My Lin, struggling with her own fears, became increasingly paranoid about the ship's systems. If it gets into our systems, we might not be able to control the Odyssey, she warned, her voice tinged with anxiety. Ravi Patel, usually composed, felt the pressure mounting as he struggled to analyze the anomaly's behavior. "It's almost like it's learning from us," he said, his brow furrowed in concern. "Whatever it is, it's adapting." The situation escalated when systems began to malfunction sporadically. Power fluctuations and erratic readings on the navigation console suggested that the anomaly was exerting influence over the ship. Panic set in as the crew realized they were not just facing an unknown object. They were grappling with something that had the potential to compromise their mission and their lives. In a desperate attempt to regain control, Captain Vasquez ordered an analysis of the anomaly's energy patterns. "We need to find a way to neutralize it before it becomes a threat," she said, her voice steely with determination. "We're scientists. Let's approach this systematically." As they delved deeper into their analysis, they discovered that the anomaly emitted a specific frequency that interfered with the ship's systems. The crew worked tirelessly to devise a countermeasure, but time was running out. The atmosphere aboard the Odyssey shifted from one of excitement to a palpable sense of impending doom. With the anomaly's influence growing stronger, they faced a critical choice: confront the unknown or risk losing everything. The stakes had never been higher, and the conflict between curiosity and survival loomed large as they prepared for an inevitable confrontation with the entity that had followed them home amidst the primary conflict of the anomaly's influence. Several subplots began to intertwine, revealing the intricate dynamics of the Odyssey crew. One significant subplot revolved around Dr. Iden Shaw and his internal struggle with the implications of their discovery. Initially driven by the thrill of finding extraterrestrial life, Iden became increasingly tormented by the potential dangers that the anomaly posed. His fascination turned into obsession, leading him to isolate himself from the rest of the crew. He spent long hours in the lab, attempting to understand the entity's composition, all while wrestling with the morality of their actions. What if we unleashed something that humanity isn't ready to confront? He confided in Mai Lin. During one of their late-night discussions, Mai, in her own subplot, grappled with the pressure of being the ship's engineer. As the ship's systems began to fail, her fear of inadequacy grew. Memories of past failures haunted her, making her doubt her capabilities. She found herself torn between the need to fix the systems and her fear that she might exacerbate the situation. This internal conflict manifested in her interactions with the crew, as she oscillated between moments of confidence and crippling self-doubt. Ravi Patel also faced a subplot of his own, as the anomaly triggered memories of his childhood, when he had always felt like an outsider. The presence of the entity stirred feelings of vulnerability, intensifying his anxiety. His struggle to navigate his fears created a rift between him and the rest of the crew, causing him to withdraw further into himself, even as the situation demanded teamwork. These subplots not only added layers to the characters, but also highlighted the psychological toll of their mission. The complexities of their relationships intertwined with the looming threat of the anomaly, underscoring the theme that the greatest challenges often lie within. The turning point in the narrative arrived during an emergency meeting convened by Captain Vasquez. With the ship's systems faltering and the anomaly's influence escalating, tensions boiled over. "We can't keep ignoring this," Aiden shouted, frustration etched on his face. "We're playing with forces we don't understand. If we don't take drastic measures, we might lose control." Mai, already overwhelmed by the pressure of the situation, snapped back. "What do you suggest? We just throw the anomaly away and hope it disappears? We're scientists. We need to understand it." The heated exchange created an electric atmosphere, revealing the emotional stakes at play. Amidst the rising conflict, Ravi stood up, visibly shaken. "We're all afraid. But this isn't just about the anomaly anymore. It's about us. I can't pretend that I'm not terrified." His admission hung in the air, and a profound silence followed. The crew looked at one another, realizing they had been avoiding their vulnerabilities while the threat loomed large. In that moment, Elara recognized the need for a shift in strategy, not just in dealing with the anomaly, but in how they worked as a team. "We need to channel our fear into action," she asserted, her voice steady yet compassionate. "Let's create a plan that embraces our strengths and addresses our weaknesses. We can't let this entity exploit our divisions." The crew took a collective breath, the weight of their fears now acknowledged. They regrouped to brainstorm solutions, fostering a renewed sense of collaboration. Aiden, inspired by Ravi's candor, proposed using the anomaly's energy patterns to create a counter-frequency that could neutralize its influence. Mai, rekindled by the spirit of teamwork, volunteered to lead the engineering efforts to implement this plan. As they worked together, the atmosphere shifted from one of despair to determination. The turning point was not merely a strategic change, but an emotional awakening. The crew began to recognize that their greatest asset was their unity, and by confronting their fears together, they could face the unknown. This newfound solidarity set the stage for their next steps. As they prepared to confront the entity that had followed them back from the stars, the consequences of their collective decision to confront the anomaly began to unfold rapidly. As the crew implemented Aiden's plan, tension and anticipation filled the air. The ship's systems buzzed with energy as Mai and her team worked diligently to calibrate the counter-frequency. Each moment felt charged with urgency, a reflection of their shared determination to reclaim control. As the counter-frequency was activated, a wave of energy surged from the ship, creating a powerful resonance that clashed with the anomaly's own pulsating light. Initially, it seemed as if the plan might work. The shadows around the ship flickered, and the low-frequency hum began to wane. The crew felt a surge of hope, but that hope was quickly dashed when the anomaly retaliated, unleashing a violent burst of energy that sent the Odyssey lurching, brace for impact. Elara shouted, gripping the console as alarms blared. The ship trembled violently, and the crew struggled to maintain their footing. In that moment of chaos, fear morphed into panic as the reality of their situation set in. The anomaly was not just a passive observer. It was actively fighting back. Once the tumult subsided, the crew assessed the damage. Systems were malfunctioning, and the ship's structural integrity was compromised. Mai, fighting back tears, faced the reality of her worst fears. "I couldn't hold it together," she whispered, her voice cracking. Aiden, witnessing her distress, stepped forward. "You did everything you could, Mai." "We all did," he reassured her, but his words felt hollow against the grim backdrop of their situation. Ravi, still grappling with his own vulnerabilities, watched as the crew's morale began to wane. The fear that had been momentarily set aside returned, heavier than before. The realization that they were not only fighting an external threat, but also their own internal struggles became clearer. The consequences of their actions loomed large, testing their unity and resolve. As they faced the aftermath of their confrontation, the crew understood that their greatest challenge lay ahead, both in battling the anomaly and in overcoming the fractures within themselves. In the aftermath of the confrontation with the anomaly, the crew of the Odyssey faced a critical juncture that would ultimately define their mission and personal growth. The initial chaos had forced them to confront not only the external threat, but also their internal struggles and fears. With the ship's systems severely damaged and morale at an all-time low, Captain Elara Vasquez took the lead in fostering a spirit of resilience. "We've been through hell, but we're still here," she declared during a meeting convened in the ship's dimly lit common area. "We need to learn from what happened and use it to strengthen our resolve." Her words resonated deeply, igniting a flame of determination among her crew. They began to openly discuss their fears and frustrations, transforming their vulnerability into a collective strength. Dr. Aiden Shaw, who had previously been consumed by his obsession with the anomaly, shifted his focus toward collaboration. "I've realized that understanding this entity requires all of us," he admitted. "Our combined knowledge is our greatest asset." This acknowledgement encouraged others to share their insights and experiences, breaking down the barriers that had formed during their earlier conflicts. Mai Lin, who had grappled with feelings of inadequacy, found newfound confidence in the support of her teammates. With the systems still compromised, she took the initiative to lead repairs, drawing on her engineering skills and the suggestions of her crew. As she worked side by side with Ravi, who had also begun to emerge from his shell, they forged a strong partnership. Their collaboration not only repaired the ship, but also deepened their bond, making them both feel valued and capable. Ravi, inspired by the crew's determination, began to share his insights more freely, contributing to the group's strategic planning. His evolving confidence transformed the team's dynamics. Each member recognized the importance of their role, realizing that the collective effort was greater than the sum of its parts. The experience fostered an environment of trust, where mistakes were seen as opportunities for learning rather than failures. As the crew prepared for the next phase of their mission, they had not only overcome their individual struggles, but had also grown as a cohesive unit. They were no longer just a team of scientists and explorers. They had become a family, united by their shared experiences and determination to confront whatever lay ahead. This transformation set the stage for their final confrontation with the anomaly, armed with newfound strength and a profound understanding of their interconnectedness. With renewed determination and a sense of unity, the crew of the Odyssey focused on preparing for their final confrontation with the anomaly. Captain Ilara Vasquez understood that they needed a comprehensive strategy that combined their individual strengths and insights. We've learned a lot about the anomaly since our last encounter, she began during a briefing. Now, we need to leverage that knowledge to neutralize its influence once and for all. Dr. Aiden Shaw presented his research on the anomaly's energy patterns. If we can create a targeted frequency that disrupts its behavior, we might be able to contain it, he explained, his voice steady with newfound confidence. The crew gathered around, eager to contribute. Mai Lin, inspired by her recent successes, proposed modifications to the ship's systems that would enhance their ability to generate the necessary frequency. I can recalibrate the emitters to amplify our signal, she said, her eyes shining. With determination.as, they worked together. The atmosphere aboard the ship transformed. The crew members collaborated seamlessly, sharing ideas and refining their plan. Ravi Patel, who had become more vocal in discussions, suggested integrating a feedback loop that would allow them to monitor the anomalous responses in real time. If we can adapt our frequency based on its reactions, we stand a better chance of controlling it, he explained. Ilara felt a renewed sense of hope as she watched her crew come together. They began to construct a detailed plan, assigning specific roles based on each member's strengths. Aiden would oversee the calibration of the frequency, while Mai and Ravi would work on the technical aspects of the emitters. Ilara herself would lead the team during the confrontation, ensuring that everyone remained focused and coordinated. In addition to their technical preparations, Ilara also recognized the importance of mental readiness. She organized a series of team-building exercises to strengthen their bonds and alleviate the tension that had built up. We need to be in sync, not just technologically, but emotionally, she emphasized. The crew participated in trust-building activities, sharing personal stories and reaffirming their commitment to one another. As they neared the climax of their mission, the crew felt a palpable shift in energy. They were no longer just individuals grappling with their fears. They had become a well-oiled machine, united in purpose and spirit. Each member understood the stakes involved and was prepared to face the anomaly. With their plan in place and their hearts aligned, they felt ready to confront the unknown, determined to reclaim their mission and their lives. The moment of truth arrived as the Odyssey approached the anomaly, its pulsing presence a stark reminder of the challenges they had faced. The ship trembled as the crew executed their meticulously crafted plan. Captain Ilara Vasquez stood at the command console, her heart racing but her mind focused. "All systems ready?" she called, her voice steady despite the tension in the air. "Ready," Mai Lin replied, her fingers flying over the controls as she initiated the recalibrated emitters. The ship's systems hummed to life, a symphony of technology and human ingenuity working in harmony. Aiden monitored the energy readings, his eyes wide with anticipation. "We're in position." Initiating the targeted frequency now. As the frequency activated, a wave of energy surged from the ship, directed toward the anomaly. For a moment, the darkness flickered in response, pulsing erratically. The crew held their breath, a mixture of hope and fear coursing through them. Then the anomaly erupted in a blinding display of light, its energy clashing against the ship's signal. "Maintain the frequency," Ilara shouted, her voice cutting through the chaos. "Ravi, monitor the feedback loop." Ravi's fingers danced over his console, relaying crucial data back to Aiden and Mai. "It's adapting. We need to adjust our parameters," he shouted, his voice rising above the cacophony. Aiden quickly recalibrated the emitters, working alongside Mai to make the necessary adjustments. We've got to outsmart it, he urged, the adrenaline fueling his determination. The ship shook violently as the anomaly retaliated, sending shockwaves through the hull. The crew struggled to maintain their footing, but they refused to back down. With their resolve unwavering, Elara guided the team through the storm of energy. Focus on the goal. We're stronger together, she urged, her leadership igniting a fire within each crew member. As Iden adjusted the frequency, a breakthrough moment occurred. The anomaly's pulsing slowed, its chaotic energy beginning to stabilize. In a final push, the crew channeled all their energies into the emitters, unleashing a concentrated burst of frequency that struck the anomaly directly. The darkness convulsed, flickering as if caught in a violent storm. Suddenly, a wave of force erupted, pushing back against the anomaly's influence, and the overwhelming light exploded outward, enveloping the ship. As the brilliance faded, the crew emerged from the chaos, panting but alive. The anomaly, now reduced to a faint shimmer, had been contained. They had faced their fears, united in purpose, and triumphed over the unknown. Exhausted yet exhilarated, they exchanged looks of disbelief and joy, realizing they had not only saved themselves, but also discovered the true power of their unity. Together, they had proven that humanity's greatest mission was not solely about reaching the stars, but about understanding the strength that lies within, even in the face of uncertainty. In the aftermath of their confrontation with the anomaly, the crew of the Odyssey emerged transformed, not just as explorers, but as a resilient family united by shared experience. They learned that true strength lies in collaboration, vulnerability, and the courage to face the unknown together. The mission to Proxima Centauri b had become a journey of self-discovery, teaching them invaluable lessons about humanity's capacity for growth and understanding. As they navigated the stars, they carried with them the knowledge that their greatest challenges could be met with unity and determination.